This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Hello. We begin in really uncharted territory. A serious crash has once again put self-driving cars under scrutiny. But this one started with a human driver who hit a woman, sending her into the path of a Cruise robotaxi. She was then run over and pinned by the driverless car. This happened around 9:30 last night in the crosswalk at Market and 5th Street right after the traffic light had turned green. The woman is in the hospital. She is in critical condition. And while Cruise was quick to clarify it braked as soon as it could, the accident is raising questions about how these cars respond in this complicated landscape where they share the roads with humans. So Kenny Choi has been following this. He has some insight from experts. And I know that you have actually seen the video from Cruise cameras as to what happened. Kenny.
Julia, I took a look at multiple videos taken from inside that AV provided by Cruise and outside that car, showing us a pretty good perspective of exactly what happened last night. The video is pretty graphic, and we're not going to show that to you, and also agreed with the company not to release that video. But there are many questions tonight about the future of AV technology and what companies like Cruise have to do so that they can keep expanding, not only in San Francisco, but across the country. Video from Frisco Live 415 shows first responders soon after they extracted a woman trapped underneath a Cruise robotaxi. Authorities say a human-driven car struck the pedestrian before the driverless Cruise vehicle applied brakes, but the AV didn't stop fast enough as the woman got run over.
Maybe in this case, a human driver would have noticed something didn't seem right and would have slowed down before the last second, and maybe not. We really don't know.
Phil Koopman is a professor at Carnegie Mellon University researching autonomous vehicles for more than 2 decades.
We're seeing a lot of instances where they're pretty clearly not as good as a reasonable driver, things like not yielding for fire trucks, things like interfering with emergency responders.
Velocity and speed and actuation of brakes and vehicular technology can only happen so quickly in these emergency situations.
Billy Riggs, an autonomy transportation expert and professor at the University of San Francisco, studies the safety and expansion of robotaxis across the city.
This idea of eliminating every collision that exists is a myth. But the idea that we can actually take human error out of the picture is a huge opportunity.
Police are investigating the incident as a hit and run as the human driver fled the scene. Cruise says its AV had the green light and that it, quote, braked aggressively to minimize the impact before coming to a complete stop immediately after impacting the struck pedestrian.
This, more so than some of the other things that they've dealt with recently, is really one of these cases of an unavoidable collision that ultimately, it is the result of human error.
Even if it's not Cruise's fault, the question they should be asking as well is, what could they do to avoid the next crash that looks like this?
Cruise confirmed its vehicle immediately alerted the company and that authorities asked the AV to be kept in place. Now, Cruise says tonight their main concern is the condition of that person who was hit last night. At last check, that person is in critical condition at a local hospital in San Francisco. Juliette, Cruise also says that it is cooperating with authorities, of course, for this investigation as to pinpoint exactly who that driver was of that car that initially struck that woman last night.
I can't believe it. All right. Kenny, thank you. We will certainly check in on her condition. And we did check with the Cruise website, and it's on its own website. Cruise reports its driverless cars have been in 36 collisions in the first 1 million miles and says 94% of them were caused by the behavior of another party. It reports 5 incidents where someone like a pedestrian or a cyclist collided with a robotaxi. All of them involved Cruise cars that were not moving. And before today, Cruise says there's only been 1 collision resulting in an injury when a robotaxi was making an unprotected left turn. Police declared the other driver at fault for going straight in a turn-only lane.